guys to kind of playing at your potential?
I don't think we're there yet. I think people are still trying to figure out the rules. We're still kind of fighting some adversity early on in the season. We haven't really hit that spot yet, and I think that's fine because I don't think we need to be at our best right now. I don't think that's usually how it works. It takes some growing pains and some losses and some wins to kind of get there. And so I'm really happy with where we are. I'm happy with how we responded. After this weekend, we had a really good practice yesterday, and then we'll have a good one today and be ready for tomorrow.
With the schedule this week and next week, things like conference titles and postseason seedings can be affected by these results, obviously. Do you embrace that? Do you try to block that out? What's your individual mindset there?
I mean, I read about it, and I know what's at stake, and I know that these are some big games that we have to win in order to get to where we want to be. But at the end of the day, every win is just as important, and I think that's what ultimately we're focusing on. I mean, every practice and game is just as important as the Stanfords, the Oregon States, because as we learned, any team can come out regardless if they're ranked in the top 5 or not ranked at all and beat us. And so, I think that kind of really gave us a good understanding of how good the Pac-12 conference is and how much is really at stake with every single game.
Is there any party that's looking forward to the conference tournament like, oh, that's going to be a monster this year?
For sure. I mean, you're not even going to have an easy game in the conference tournament. You'd think, getting something like an Arizona State not ranked in a conference tournament, well, then they beat us, and then they beat Oregon State. So it's going to be crazy, and it's going to prepare us for the NCAA tournament. I mean, it's great that we can go in to an environment, a packed crowd at Arizona State, a packed crowd at Arizona, and really just fight that adversity with their home crowd and playing there just because we're so comfortable, in front of our sellout crowd here.
Is there, in your years playing against Stanford, is there something that stands out about the way they play and the way they compete?
I mean, they're just so smart. And it's not even a joke or a hit at the fact that they go to Stanford. They're very smart. They know the scout religiously. They know every player's strengths, every player's weaknesses. We'll call out a play, and they already know exactly what play we're going to run. And so you can tell that they study our game well. They study every opponent's game well. And so we're going to have to be able to just battle that and play our game, keep the space forward, and keep the floor space. And we did that at their place, down there. I think we saw that we can punch them, although that they know our scout. And so at the end of the day, it's basketball. So we're going to be excited to play them.
Only way you can really experience Pac-12 play on the road is to go and do it. How do you think your freshmen did with their first trip away from Matthew Knight?
I mean, I think they played really well. Jazz played big minutes, in that Arizona game, and even in that Arizona State game, hit some good shots and controlled the ball for us well, and that's needed. And so I think she's learning and coming along really well, and Holly's coming in and playing minutes too. And so they've helped, they've helped us a lot, and especially on the road. And being freshmen, it's hard. I mean, coming into even a home environment, they were nervous, their first couple games. I mean, playing in front of 12,000 people was crazy. And so I think they kind of feel that pressure, but they're embracing it.
How is Stanford different this year? Obviously, they lost a great player from last year, but they add these freshmen. Mm-hmm. What do they look like this year compared to last year?
Yeah, I mean, their freshmen are great. They were a really high recruiting class for a reason. They're coming in and contributing. I think sometimes they start almost 3 freshmen. So those freshmen come in and give them key minutes and key baskets and play the game the right way. And so we're going to have to be able to capitalize on that, knowing that they're not as experienced and they haven't really come into an environment like this. So that's definitely going to be used to our advantage.
What were the 24 hours like after the Arizona State game? Did you get everybody rally? What was that kind of like in the discussions?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a quick turnaround that you don't really have too much time to think about it. I mean, people, even now when we get back to Eugene, are asking me about that game, and I don't even remember it because I'm looking forward to that next game, and so that's always a positive playing in the Pac-12 just because of what you have in front of you. But, I mean, it sucked. It was hard, going in there, and we got outworked and outplayed in that second half. But we rallied and played really well against Arizona, so that helped.
You've been an outspoken advocate for this game beyond just yourself. The WNBA came out with the new CBA about higher pay standards, paid maternity leave for women, just overall things that I think a lot of the athletes probably wanted and can provide like an actual career where you don't have to go abroad in the off season. I was just curious your thoughts on that.
It was awesome. I mean, I woke up and was able to read that, and a lot of people were sending it to me and tagging me in it, and it was awesome to see that the steps that they took. Obviously, there's still a huge gap between the NBA and the WNBA, but it's just awesome to see the committee and the people actually advocating for better life for the women that are playing. So it's inspiring and awesome to see the steps that they're taking.
Is Kelly any different now that he's a year older?
Might be a little bit grumpier. I'm joking. He had a really good practice yesterday. I don't know if it was because it was his birthday, but like he didn't really yell at us. And like that was kind of what I had asked for him on his birthday. I was like, please don't yell at me. But yeah, he was great. But no, he's probably going to be the same. He's done off of his birthday now.